We're going to move on to Alec Baldwin. He's speaking publicly for the first time since accidentally shooting and killing cinematographer Halyna Hutchins on the set of his movie Rust. And this morning, we have new details about those fatal final moments. Kaylee Hartung is in Los Angeles with the latest. Good morning, Kaylee.
Good morning, George. Alec Baldwin was questioned by authorities before he ever left that movie set. And officials in Santa Fe have told us he's continued to cooperate with the investigation, even now as he's far from New Mexico. This morning, we are hearing Baldwin break his silence, and he's saying he does not expect Rust to ever resume production.
There are incidental accidents on film sets from time to time, but nothing like this. This is a 1 in a trillion episode.
An emotional Alec Baldwin speaking out for the first time since tragedy struck on the movie set of Rust, saying he's talking to police daily.
I've been ordered by the Sheriff's Department in Santa Fe. I can't answer any questions about the investigation. I can't. It's an active investigation in terms of a woman dying.
It was just 11 days ago that a bullet fired from the actor's gun, killing cinematographer Halyna Hutchins and injuring director Joel Souza.
She was my friend. She was my friend. The day I arrived in Santa Fe to start shooting, I took her to dinner with Joel, the director.
Baldwin and his wife Hilaria addressing paparazzi on the side of the road in the small Vermont town where their family has gone for privacy, spotted by TMZ.
But you met with her family?
Halyna,
yes,
her name is Halyna. If you're spending this much time waiting for us, you should know her name. Her name is Halyna.
Halyna Hutchins. I met with her husband Matthew and her son. He is in shock. He has a 9-year-old son. We are in constant contact with him because we're very worried about his family and his kid.
Hutchins' family honoring her over the weekend in a private funeral service in Los Angeles. Back in New Mexico, the investigation continues to determine how live ammunition got on that movie set and loaded into Baldwin's gun.
We've had 2 people accidentally shot on a movie set by a prop gun. We need help immediately.
What the expletive just happened? According to the LA Times, Baldwin repeated the words again and again with growing urgency in the moments following the gunshot.
We were a very, very well-oiled crew shooting a film together, and then this horrible event happened.
Baldwin was preparing for a scene in this church, according to officials, when the film's assistant director handed him a gun, telling him it was cold, meaning it did not contain live rounds, only dummies. As Baldwin attempted to show the crew what he would do when the camera started rolling, he placed his hand on the Colt .45 revolver in his holster, and the LA Times reports he said, "I guess I'm going to take this out, pull it, and go bang." And that's when the fatal shot unexpectedly fired.
An ongoing effort to limit the use of firearms on film sets is something I'm extremely interested in. I'm not an expert in this field. So whatever other people decide is the best way to go in terms of protecting people's safety on film sets, I'm all in favor of, and I will cooperate with that in any way that I can.
And crew members have told us before that fatal shooting, there were red flags on the set, at least 2 accidental discharges of prop guns. The film's armor, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, has said in a statement through her attorneys, one was at the hand of the prop master, another a stuntman. Though the film's production company says they never received any official complaints regarding weapon safety on set, guys.
Okay, Kaylee, thanks very much. It's been our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. Dan, I imagine Alec Baldwin's lawyer was not thrilled to see him speaking to paparazzi.
Right. So the question becomes, did he say anything that did hurt him or that could hurt him? And I think the answer is no. It was a pretty innocuous statement. He didn't talk about any of the facts relating the shooting. He talked about his feelings. He talked about emotions, etc. Even there's a potential minefield with regard to family members, etc. But I think that he avoided those. And remember, he's really just coming out and speaking to the photographers who were there, waiting for him. It wasn't like this was a press conference with a bunch of journalists who were prepared to ask him the questions.
And as we continue to learn more about the situation on set, Dan, what really jumps out at you that's significant legally?
Previous safety issues. So you've got these accidental discharges that had happened on the set previously. You had a crew member concerned about safety. Those are the 2 most important things to me legally, because when you're evaluating this through a legal prism, you ask yourself, what did they know? When did they know it? What could they have done to prevent it? And those are all relevant questions that may be answered by some of what else was happening on that set.
Okay, what do they know? When do they know it? Is that where the line is going to be when we talk about civil versus criminal charges?
Yeah, and it's really hard to answer the question, right? I mean, I could cite the New Mexico involuntary manslaughter statute. And
Please, go ahead.
Well, but it wouldn't answer your question,
right, still.
is the reason I say it. Is because really what the standard is going to be is how dangerous was the set? How negligent were they? Meaning, if this was just a single incident, where this is sort of, as Alec Baldwin said, a 1 in a trillion event that never could have been predicted. Well, there are not going to be criminal charges then. But if there's the sense that this was a dangerous set and they had previous warnings, not just a single issue, but multiple issues, then you talk about the real possibility of criminal charges.
And we also heard this weekend from the armorer who was in charge of the gun. Yeah. She said she didn't know there was a live round on set. We also know that she was forced to work 2 jobs on the set. Significance? Yeah,
look, everyone's pointing the finger at her, right? And this is her defense. And she's saying, look, I did everything by the book. The issues that have arisen weren't my fault. We'll see. I mean, that could end up being true. In the end, when you are the armorer...
But if there's a gun on the cart with a live round in it...
But again, she would say none of the live rounds were her. She would say that nothing, when it came to live rounds on that set, would have been allowed under her watch.
Aren't you supposed to check the gun?
Yes, but that's also the job of the first assistant director as well.
Okay.
Thank you. So many questions.
Yeah.
So many questions. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.